Alrighty guys, we got another order here for you. Let's take a look and see what we got. First thing out of the box we have a great big beautiful discus. These leopard snakeskins went over so well last week, I just went ahead and doubled down and got some more. 3-inch fish that got to be close to 4 inches. Beautiful fish. Here's another one. Just all fish in that bag. Amazing, beautiful discus we've been able to get in. You've been following us, you know I've been a little bit hesitant to bring in a bunch of discus because it took a lot of extra work. Well, I've got a little more staff on, so we're changing our discus every day, full 100% changes on all our discus. Next thing up, we have some bikers. This is actually a restock on these guys. These are the Leopard tank raised Nile bikers. Very pretty patterns on those guys. They did really good with their last group, and I'm glad to be able to offer them again. Here's something that's fun. I've had these a couple of times in the past. They're a mudfish. The boys get a little snorkel on their front, and they kind of do the worm around each other, kind of like an oversized Sumo Loach in a sense, I guess. Super neat, unusual. I'll find that guy. Oh, wow. All right. These guys have the nickname the Pretty Cory, and I think that's a pretty good nickname. Okay, I remember it's the pulchers is the scientific on those. Very, very cool, not inexpensive Corys that I brought in because I can. I got a bunch of bettas this time. You know what? I'm going to resist the urge. We're going to do those in a breakout video in a little bit. Here's some more, but we're not going to look at you. You're just going to stay right there. Okay, next up we have some Snakeskin Gouramis. Nice size on these guys. A lot of times we'll get snake skins in fairly good size. Haven't got these guys in a while though, they haven't been available. Next up is flame tetras. Or excuse me, ember tetras. Mistake flames and embers, sounds a lot the same. Completely different fish. Flames are a much larger tetra. The embers, of course, are your nice little nano fish. Next up is neon dwarf rainbows. Very funny. My assistant was telling me we're out of the little neon red ones, and I thought she was talking about that. She was talking about the Luminatus, which weren't on the list. So we got a double stock on neon dwarfs, which is great. They're a fun little rainbow. I like them a lot. These guys are the Dwarf Anchor Cats. Get these when I can get them. Super, super cool. A lot of times you'll forget they're in your tank because they'll get down into underneath stuff and you can just completely miss them until you do your water changes, but a really neat little cat. I got a couple different hatchet fish on this order. These are the Dwarf Hatchets. We've got a few others. I think we got zeroed on some, but I ordered a bunch of different hatchets. I like hatchets, and when I can get them, I do. And then this is Sumo Loaches. Been stocking 5 or 6 different types of coolies on a regular basis. These are the zippers, which are very similar to the bandits. Not too unlike the Borneo dot dashes, but those guys are a little bit smaller than the other guys. Don't look. Let's see, Celestial Pearl Daniels, another very necessary nano fish. Love the little guys who look like a little Dolly Parton trout, and gotta have good stock on those. Something completely different here. This is a guy that's really good about getting out of the tank. You gotta have a good tight top for them. These are a type of African eel, or are they an Asian? I'm not sure. Asian and African eels. 2 different genuses. These are the least aggressive genus, the Magnathus or the Macumulus. Anyway, long and short is they get up to about a foot. They call them a tiny spiny or chameleon eel. Really fun fish. I highly recommend them for your community tank with a little bit of size to it. Pop open another box here. Oh gosh, somebody went betta nuts. I think that somebody was me. And I also got some really cool cichlids in, South Americans or Centrals. These are Grajolivia red. These are a type of Muscaheros or abeja. Really, really beautiful fish. If you look up the scientific on that and see the pictures, you'll want to have that 75-gallon tank just for one great big, enormous, beautiful abeja. These are banded coolies, the bigger version of the last coolies we pulled out for you. Bandits, of course, get to about 3 inches. Zippers somewhat smaller. Next up is Peruvian rummy nose, because you know, just having one kind of rummy nose is never enough. The Peruvians are a little different species. There's actually 3 or 4 species of rummy nose recognized. There is a little difference if you really study it close. Not a lot though, but it's always fun to have choices. Here is something I haven't had in a really long time, but really beautiful, but a little bit aggressive little loach. These are called a Sumo Loach. Probably be great snail patrol. Remember, they can be a little bit on the pestery or picky side, like many of your loaches can. Really beautiful red band on those guys. It's really amazing color though. Totally worth it to have a group of those guys in the right situation. Here's another funny mistake, kind of a fun mistake though. I've got a few of these already. I don't normally stock that many. They're a really beautiful fish called an Empire Gudgeon. I had ticked the wrong box. I meant to get the Peacock Gudgeons, which is something we stock all the time. The Emperors I get occasionally, but now I've got a double stock on Emperors, and we'll get Peacocks next week. And here's another cool loach. I haven't had these that many times. These are called a Serpent Loach. They kind of look like a smaller version of a Bottia striato almost, except for darker green on less striping. Very pretty. Double check to make sure they're not too aggressive on those before I put them in with your community fish. Next up is Leuthobranchus guntheri. These are Achille, another fish that looks like it should go well in a nano tank, but they'll eat your nano fish. The Achilles are a bit more aggressive than they look. They are absolutely gorgeous, not very long lived, but you probably want to do them in a species tank or in a little more aggressive tank than the other fish have. These are Amano Shrimp. Get them every week. We are still getting pretty small ones. Probably we're going to see a season of small ones until the bigger ones start growing out. And then we have some glass cats. I used to call these guys a skeleton crew in my tank when I was a kid. I love these guys. I still do. They're a fun add to community tank. And last but not least, in here we have some 6-striped frontosa. I haven't been able to get frontosas for a little while, so I'm super glad to be able to offer some little 6-stripes. I think I might have them in Pemby Blue over there. But of all the varieties, the 6-stripe is the most common, least expensive, and I'm not going to show you what else is in there because there's, wow, some really cool bettas. We're going to jump through. We used up my whole cart, but we're just going to set these over, I think. Next is some more Corys. These are the Agassiz, another spotted and hooded Cory. Get a good look at them. Nice size on these guys. Not quite as big as the pretties. Not nearly as expensive either. A very beautiful Cory. Stay in the box. Next up is some more cool cichlids. These are the Soribia cichlid. Oh wow, these guys, I mistook them for a Finistrato when I looked them up. The color on them, they got a bunch of pinks in them and such. A little bit narrower bodied though than those guys. Really cool Central American cichlid. These guys I've been out of forever. These are dainty Corys. They only get about an inch. They act like a regular Cory, unlike some of your pygmies or your Erethistes Corys. But very, very nice add to your nano tank. A great little Cory all by itself. More discus, because I went discus nuts this week. These are 3-inch red melons. Couldn't lay off. Gorgeous, great big red melon. So there's Speed. And there's his buddy. Got another one. There's one more in the box here, probably. Yep, there he is. If you want to look at him, you can see him in the bag or come by later and check him out in the tank. These guys are gorgeous. A lot of times these guys have been flying out before we even get the videos posted. So if you're wanting discus, feel free to special order or get in early. Holy moly, look at you. That's the biggest reticulated I've ever gotten. This is a reticulated biker. Hopefully Bimby. Nice fat body. A lot of times these guys got a really nice emerald green color to them. I don't know if you'll have that, but he's got a really fat body. Nice looking biker there. Here's some more Corys because I went Corydoras nuts because that's what I do. These are Loxanas. A lot of times if they're available, I just grab whatever's out there. This might go 6 months before we see them again. That's why you'll see me grabbing up Dude, does he really sell that many Corys? Well, yeah. We sell a lot of Corys. Here's some green dragon, long-finned green dragon bushy nose. Little on the small size, but real nice fins on those. I haven't had those in a little while. I just had to add to my collection of bushies. We got nearly a complete set over there. Here's some more hatchets. These are the silver hatchets. Carnegiella, if you follow the scientific name, there's a few different guys that get called silver hatchet. There's also a platinum hatchet, which is very similar. I think that's it right here. Platinum hatchet, and that's a stilettos. Very similar fish. You don't want to put them in the same tank or you have a hard time figuring out who's who, but they are actually a little bit different. We brought them both in because I can. I got the space and the will, and that's what we do here at Finatics. Last fish on this part of the order, these are some green dragon bushies without the long fins. It's been a really long time since I had these. So I'm able to offer both long finned and short finned green dragons. Super, super cool little bushies. And we'll have some more after this, but that's it for this round of order for y'all. All right, here we go. We got more fish to see. Got a fun order this week. Let's see what treasure we will find. First thing out of the box this week is Neon Tetras. Got a bunch of large ones this week. A little bit bigger than what we've been getting, and they look real good. So they hold up. We should have some great neons for the special. Next thing up, we have blue neon gobies. Haven't been able to get these in a while, and showed up on a list, so I grabbed some. I think I got two different types. I think I got the blue neons and the neon blues. Don't ask me what the difference is, except for the different fish. Cardinal Lampide Daisy rice fish. These are fun. Don't get these very often. They're the several different types of rice fish. A little more expensive than some of your small tetras, but a great nano fish. They run like $5, so not terrible. Kind of a cool fish. Here we have a red Reuben Alanacara. That's your, of course, red Reuben peacocks. Not as colored up as maybe I'd hoped, but a decent size on them, so hopefully those will color up good for us. We got a couple of them. Here's a couple more. And let's see, here we have another goby. These are the tiger gobies. The little nano goby. People say they keep these with shrimp. They apparently won't even eat the baby shrimp, which is pretty cool. Here are some tiny, tiny little red whiptail cats. Last batch of these we had in did really well, even though they're about this size. When they're this little, they make me a little bit nervous, but they ate great and grew up pretty fast, actually. So got those in again. This is South American cichlids. These are green terrors. Baby green terrors come in relatively inexpensive. Nice, medium-large South American cichlid. Not as terror as the name suggests. Here's an Otocinclus. We had some of these last month. These are the redfin autos. Apparently our supplier's about out of them. We got what they had left. They shipped there, but got a half a dozen of those guys or so. Super cool, unusual guy. I think we still have a couple of the little Galaxy autos over there too. Always get the cool autos when we can. Well, this is cool. These are a ropefish. Not an auto at all. The ropefish out of Africa are a lot of fun. You get about 2 feet, but they're only about a little bigger around than my pinky. Let's see, another nanofish. These are delicate blue-eye rainbows. Haven't had these in a really long time. They're not offered that often. They're kind of dull looking right up until they get mature, and then when they hit maturity, they get really bright colored. Actually, quite a beautiful fish. These are tiny little tiger silver dollars. As it turns out, I got a large one in just today. You see the difference in size. These guys are maybe the size of a quarter or slightly bigger, maybe. The one I have over there's got to be 5 inches, so they will get quite big. Here's some danios. These are zebra danios. Nice, inexpensive, relatively community fish. This is the fish they use to make the glow danios with. Hardy and fast. Next up is Amano Shrimp. Still coming in pretty tiny. A nice batch of Amano Shrimp necessary for your planted tank. Keep that hair algae at bay. And something we ran out of last week, Bolivian rams. Got some really great colors in there. Hopefully they tank as nice as they look in the bag. Super cool Bolivian rams, a dwarf cichlid. And last out of this box we have, what do we have? Oh, dwarf chain loaches. Wow, they're pretty small. I don't think I've ever seen them quite this small. These are a great snail patrol. They only get to about 2 to 3 inches. So a smaller loach that aren't particularly aggressive. But they are wonderful at taking care of your snails. I'll be right back with a couple more boxes. And I'm back. We got another box of fish here. Let's see what comes out of this box. First thing out is Peacock Gudgeons. We meant to get those last week, ended up with Empires instead, which is pretty cool because they turned out really nice actually. So now we've got both Peacock and Empire Gudgeons. Then we got some Cardinal Tetras. We ran out of Cardinal Tetras last week. Good batch, decent sized Cardinals there. I wonder which ones they sent. This is the tank raised ones. They had Brazilian, Colombian, and tank raised Cardinals all available. I said, take your pick. Here's the other blue gobies. These are blue cobalt gobies. And they do have a little darker body. They're a little different than the other neon blue gobies. They're pretty similar. They're both Stiphodons. Next we have banded loaches. These are hair banded actually. These have been very popular. A very interesting pattern to them. A nice little panel. The hair banded loach. Next we have red neon rainbows. Some more Sumo or dwarf rainbows. Great for your planet tanks or for your nano tanks. The Luminatus dwarf red neon rainbows are super pretty. Oranges and reds in those. Very neat fish. Here's some itty bitty tiny rocket clown killies. They started to be more available than they were all last year, but they've been coming in super tiny, which they're not a very big fish to start with. Cool little nano fish in that. Here's something I never had before. This is called a turquoise cichlid. And I was reading up on them. There's one site that was saying they're not a cichlid, they're the cichlid. These guys get absolutely humongous. A 2-foot cichlid, seriously large, beautiful fish. Here's another thing. It looks like they've made it back onto the market. These are pea puffers. We had some last week or the week before, sold out already, so we got a whole nother batch for you. And the last thing in this box is some silver tip tetras. It's another one of our regular Tetra types that are on the Tetra special. Buy 4 or more, get 25% off. The high price, the small ask, of subscribing to our YouTube channel. Open these last couple boxes quick. They should go very fast. Got in some blackworms, actually a big double batch blackworms that look nice. Whole box of blackworms, which is good because we need them for outs. And then more blackworms. We got some feeder comets. We got special order on some ghost shrimp. That's it for that box. One more box. Just a little bit in it. Let's see what it is. We have plants. Oh, yeah. And what about these? So, a couple fun things. We have glow skirt tetras. So your glow fish with the skirts, bright colors on those guys. Good selection of them. And then here we have some more Amano Shrimp. Been doubling up on Amano Shrimp every week for the last 6 months at least, and going through them because they're insatiable for your Amano Shrimp, which is great. I love them. Itty bitty tiny fiddler crabs. I haven't seen them this small, maybe ever, on a large scale that is. Didn't make the trip, but in general, that's fiddler crabs for you. And then we got some plants to look at. Let's see what we actually got here. I ordered a couple different things. First thing was really nice, gigantic Amazon swords. Looks like I got about half of what I ordered because I ordered some St. Elmo's too, but we just got the Amazon swords, it looks like. Very nice. then a whole bag of dwarf baby tears in a pot. Those look really good too. For you to look at. That's the dwarf baby tears in a pot. Looking amazing. And that's it for this week's video.